The 49-inch Samsung Odyssey G9 OLED has been on the monitor scene for a while now, and when you mention super ultra-wides, not many are on the same level as the Odyssey G9 OLED, more so when it comes to gaming and productivity, but it's not been without its issues. From the fear of burning, its inability to clock 240Hz even though the monitor supports that output, the dreaded RGB screen, plus so much more we'll talk about a little later in the video. So, if you're in the market for one, buckle up and let's go for the ride. Now, at this point in the Odyssey G9 OLED life cycle, my presumption is you already know the specs and the two monitor models, but just to bring anyone who might have forgotten or isn't aware up to speed, the Odyssey G9 OLED comes with a 49-inch 5120 by 1440 OLED panel, which you most likely have heard being referred to as the equivalent of two 27-inch monitors side by side. When it comes to what powers the panel, it uses the second generation of the QD OLED technology with a refresh rate that maxes out at 240Hz. As for the ports, it comes with a DisplayPort 1.4 connector, a HDMI 2.1 port along with a micro HDMI port and 3 USB-C ports. Something to note though, the 3 USB-C ports cannot be used for display connectivity. Their use case ends at being a USB-C hub with no power delivery capabilities. That aside, one of the things I'm sure most Odyssey G9 OLED gamers have liked is the capability of the HDMI 2.1 port, given the fact that it transmutes 40 gigs per second, which means it's compatible with the full bandwidth of the PS5. Something to note though, regardless of whether you'll be using the HDMI or display ports, display stream compression is required for either input to reach 240Hz at the maximum 5120 by 1440 resolution. While on the subject of the ports, you'll also need a relatively powerful computer to be able to enjoy the 240Hz. Case in point, the max I can clock with my M1 Mac Mini is 120Hz, but with my RTX 4080 Super graphics card, clocking 240Hz is absolute child's play. As for the response time, it's an impressive 0.03 milliseconds, which is perfect for FPS games. Now, if you'd ask me, the average consumer most likely doesn't know there's two models. Enter the G95SC and the G93SC. For the most part, they have the same features except for the Smart TV on-screen display, which is only available on the G95SC model. Personally, I chose the G93SC since it's a lot cheaper, and the fact that its main use case was going to be gaming and productivity, I didn't need the Smart TV on-screen display. Getting into gaming, after switching from my Odyssey Neo G9, I've tested this monitor across different platforms from the PlayStation 5 to the Xbox Series X and now my custom PC, which is powered by the Intel Core i9 14900K CPU and an RTX 4080 Super graphics card. Honestly speaking, this is the best super ultra-wide gaming monitor I've ever used, and using the different ecosystems, I'll put it into perspective. Starting with Black Ops 6 on PC, the 49-inch ultra-wide display gives you a broader field of view, allowing you to spot opponents flanking from angles that standard monitors might miss, not to mention the immersive experience during gameplay. Another feature I've enjoyed with the Odyssey G9 OLED is the 240Hz refresh rate and 0.03 milliseconds response time, which ensures fast movements like sniping at targets or strafing around corners are smooth and blur-free, giving you a critical edge in gunfights. I mean, you lock in your aim, the 240Hz refresh rate and 0.03 millisecond response time kick in and the headshot is yours before you can even react. Speaking of an edge, PC gaming has an edge over console gaming in my opinion. Now, since that's a whole video in itself, for this particular monitor I'll only use the aspect ratio and image quality metrics to decipher that. To start things off, the max output supported by the PS5 is 2160 by 1440p, hence the reason why when playing Modern Warfare 2 on PS5, the video appears stretched out and it's not as crisp because PlayStation doesn't support the maximum video output of 5120 by 1440p yet, but on PC, a good number of games have caught on, and as you can see, Black Ops 6 is crispy whilst giving me around 120 FPS on max settings. Something to note though, the FPS count isn't super important for the average gamer, which I'd assume is majority of the people watching this video, but for the pro gamers out there, like mentioned a little earlier, it provides a critical edge. FPS count aside, across all platforms, the G9 OLED display is just class. Case in point, when playing zombies in Black Ops 6, the display handles the chaos flawlessly, rendering each sprinting figure with crystal clarity, with the high brightness highlighting the gunshot flares, and the monitor's responsiveness keeps you in control as you fight to survive. In saying that, it's not all roses and sunshine though. Like mentioned earlier, not all games support the 32:9 aspect ratio, and as you can see, some of the scenes in Black Ops 6 are played in the 16:9 aspect ratio, which is a bit of a head scratcher, putting in mind majority of the gameplay is in the 32:9 aspect ratio. Speaking of head scratches, some of the issues on the Odyssey G9 OLED have been exactly that, but fear not, I'll also be giving you guys the solutions I dug out from various forums. Starting with the most feared one when it comes to OLED monitors, burn-in. Some users have complained about burn-in, and just to bring the viewers who have no idea what burn-in is up to speed, imagine this. You've spent hours grinding out kills in Black Ops 6, then once you're done and switch to something else, some of the images from Black Ops 6 are still displayed on the screen like in this user's monitor even though you've logged out of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, that is burn-in in a nutshell. Now, when OLED panels initially dropped, this was challenging to deal with, but over the years companies like Samsung have added features like pixel shifting and auto dimming into their OLED screens, which have helped deal with the burn-in issue. Another issue brought up by a user was their inability to clock 240Hz even though their monitor supports it. When I saw the post on Reddit, it caught my attention straight away and I wanted to get to the bottom of it. After doing some digging, this issue can arise because of a few things. One is when the graphics card doesn't support the 240Hz output, and in the case of this user, he had a 2060 Super which doesn't have the power to handle the 240Hz output. Secondly, if the HDMI or display cable can't handle that bandwidth, it also won't work, and lastly, if you don't set your monitor to 240Hz in display settings. If you tick all those boxes, you won't have any issues outputting 240Hz. Moving along, the dreaded RGB screen is another issue that popped up on Reddit threads, and after doing some digging, in my opinion, this might have been one of the units that fell through the quality control cracks or got damaged during transit. My solution to this would be to return it and get your refund or ask for a unit that works. Moving on to productivity, the 49-inch Odyssey G9 OLED has been an absolute joy to use. Now, picture this. You're in the zone juggling multiple tasks, but since you're using a tiny monitor, you're relegated to constantly switching between windows, which eats up a way precious time and momentum. That's where a super ultra wide comes in, and in this case, the 49-inch Odyssey G9 OLED. Thanks to its expansive screen real estate and crispy clean display, you can comfortably run 3 sizable windows side by side, eliminating the need to constantly minimize or tab hop just to accomplish your tasks. For instance, if you're a creator like me, when writing your scripts, you can have Microsoft Word in the center, your research window on one side, then reference notes on the other. For those on Mac, a nifty app like Magnet makes it easy to customize your window layouts. From the simple drop-down menu, you can customize the windows however you like, whether it's 4 windows in a quadrant layout, 2 on either side, or my personal favorite, a 3-window layout. You'll be spoiled for choice. For those on Windows, dragging your cursor to the edge of the screen will give you different layout options to choose from, allowing you to accomplish the same. Now, don't get me wrong, the Odyssey Neo G9 does the same, but when it comes to the display clarity, the Odyssey G9 OLED is a step ahead thanks to its OLED technology. For the creatives out there, it's a game changer. In Premiere Pro, for example, scrubbing through timelines is effortless, and the enlarged video and media pool make editing so much smoother than a cramped laptop screen. Well, there you have it guys. After going through the meat and potatoes of the 49-inch Samsung G9 OLED, I must say it's a game changer in the world of super ultra wide monitors, delivering an immersive experience that feels like delving into a whole new dimension. Packed with a 5120 by 1440 resolution, this monster screen offers an expansive workspace perfect for multitasking, gaming, productivity-heavy tasks. The list goes on and on. Its OLED technology brings deep blacks and vibrant colors, something that's been lacking in many super ultra wides until recently. Whether you're editing photos, typing up a Word document, streaming your favorite shows, or diving into a high-octane gaming session, this display will elevate your overall experience to a whole new dimension. As for its pros, they are undeniable. From its exceptional color accuracy, super fast 0.03 milliseconds response time, and a 240 Hz refresh rate make it an absolute dream for the average consumer and the gamers out there. Design-wise, it's sleek with thin bezels and comes with a modern futuristic stand that will make any desk setup look premium, although I'd recommend getting a monitor arm to create more desk space. When it comes to ergonomics, the curved shape wraps around your field of view, giving you a super engaging experience while being kind to your eyes. Speaking of an engaging experience, the G9 OLED has had a few concerns that have made the experience not so engaging. Costing nearly 3,200 Australian dollars when not on sale for the G95 SC and 2,300 Australian dollars for the G93 SC, it's a hefty investment, especially when you factor in that the average consumer most likely wouldn't need a massive monitor like that. Speaking of which, its sheer size would also be an overkill for smaller workspaces. Then throw in issues like burning, the display constantly blacking out, it always boils down to, is it really worth it? Now, if you're someone who needs cutting edge tech, great visuals, immersive gaming and a productivity powerhouse, this monitor would be an absolute dream for you. But if you're just looking for something to check emails, watch the occasional show or browse the web, the 49-inch G9 OLED would be a bit of an overkill. Either way, if it tickles your fancy, it's a good investment that's bound to impress anyone who gets a glimpse of it whilst giving you the most bang for your buck. Well, there you have it guys. I hope you enjoyed and found this video helpful, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share and click the notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video. Here's another video of the step-by-step build of the PC I use with the Samsung Odyssey G9 OLED. Until then, people of the internet, I'm signing out. See you on the next one.